Hi, Davina, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can.
Perfect. Perfect. I was just wondering if my connection is stable enough. Should be fine. Should
Or
be
maybe
okay.
it's
I mean,
not.
I can
I don't
see you
know.
well. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think
We'll
I can
just
hear you well. So
we'll just roll with it and see what happens.
yeah, yeah, I think it's getting better. It's just the picture, but we should be okay. Right. So welcome everyone to our second IG talk. And today I have Davina joining me, and Davina is an aspiring interior designer studying at BEHInd. And today we're going to talk about comfort zone. And I think it's a very sort of cliche topic in one way, but then also a very interesting one, I think. And it would be quite good to share our stories with you all, and perhaps some of you might have some questions you want to ask about comfort zone. So I don't know, Davina, maybe you want to start, or if you want me to start with the questions, because each of us prepared questions for each other. So yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe you can go first, Davina, with your first question, perhaps.
Yeah. I know that we've
Perfect.
spoken about comfort zone for such a long time as well, and fairly recently about how to know what comfort zone is and how to come out of that, really. So my first question was, how did you go from working full time to transitioning and running your own company?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started BehindCanvas 2 years ago. Well, it's been 2 years ago now. And oh, I think I had like a lot of excess energy, that needed to be diverted into something useful, I think. And I also back then I sort of suffered with anxiety a lot as well. And when like you're not doing something that you love, you start feeling all these like weird things, and
Yeah, yeah,
anxiety
yeah.
kind of, yeah. I was having that, and I just didn't know how to start. I had ideas, a lot of ideas, and before BehindCanvas, I actually did some photography as well. So I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to get that somewhere, and I just stopped after a while. I just didn't feel like that it was my thing. I'm
Yeah.
just technology, and I just thought, no, this is not for me as much as I love photography, not my thing. So and I started working as a recruitment consultant, and I thought, oh, is this what I'm going to do with my life? And it's not that I enjoy. And I thought I need to start, doing art again. I can't. It's just I can't do without it. Basically, I have to start something. So I opened an Instagram page called BehindCanvas, and I didn't know where it would lead me to, because initially I started with just posting pictures of paintings and like just writing stories about them. Because I studied history of art, and I thought, oh, I really like all these philosophy stories and writing. So I thought I'll just start with that. And then I thought, no, to get back into practical. So I had a lot of sort of like trial and errors before I figured out, where I see myself. So
Yeah.
part of, yeah, me starting BehindCanvas is being unsatisfied with my job. That makes sense. I just got fed up of looking
Yeah.
for a dream job.
Yeah.
I thought I had it for myself. I think, yeah. So that's how it all started.
I think it's really difficult as well, where you have all these ideas, but you don't know where to start, and you think, I know that my current job is okay and it's great, but you know that inside you've got all these ideas buzzing around and you just don't know what to do with them.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly how I felt. And I think sort of the biggest fear and for people, I think, is starting. Like, where do you start from? How do you, but you just have to start, you're not going to start from amazing things anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, my first job, I had one person, and that was my existing art student. You know what I mean? But I still sort of went out there and I figured out what to do next and next, because when you fail, you think, okay, what can I improve in my next step, my next step, and next step. So that's how it happens. You're not going to start from a brilliant, amazing business idea to work out.
No.
It's not happen. Trust me. It's going to be a complete disaster first time. So just get over it, you know?
Just
So
go for it, yeah.
yeah, I think yeah. So I think I can ask my question now to you. So
Go
since
for it.
we are talking about comfort zone, and everyone has their own understanding of comfort zone, and you know, what is comfort zone for you? How would you define it?
I had to really think about this because at first I really didn't understand or know what the answer would be. I think you think you know it, but you don't. So
Yeah.
I think comfort zone to me is where you literally lose track of time. So that could be where you're going for a walk and you just all your thoughts go, like it's just gone, and that time is precious to you only, and there is a certain time where you're in this comfort zone. And for me, I would say it be going for a walk, or only obviously recently for doing drawings and sketchings. I've loved doing that, and I don't know where the time goes. And before you know, I've got to cook dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's different for everyone. It could be, I don't know, watching Netflix and getting completely lost into a Netflix series. You're just so engrossed in something without realizing, in a way. So I would probably say that's the best way of summing up my comfort zone anyway. I'm not sure if that's the same for you, how you would define yours, or
No, I think it's a quite yeah, good what you have said about sort of losing, you know, track of time and sort of being in that bubble. I
yeah.
think for me, comfort zone has a lot of negative connotations. I don't know why. I think it's probably because since I started behind, I've been coming out of my comfort zone like every day. So for me, comfort zone is sort of something bad. You know, you can't be in this comfort zone. You have to do something that's not comfort and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think for me, comfort zone is definitely something where you don't want to go out of, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of in this bubble and you don't
Yeah.
want to, you have all these maybe ideas and things you want to do, but you think, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start the diet tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to. You can't, you know, earn money doing art, or oh, I'm not going to go into creative world because I'm not going to be earning anything. And you know, and all these kind of things
Yeah.
start. And I get, you know, I get why, because we all kind of have these ingrained perspectives and views from our childhood, you know, be it from our society, be it from the country where we were brought up. But I think comfort zone is dangerous, to be honest, because you can so in that, you know, for your
Yeah.
whole life, you know, and then suddenly at, I don't know, 50, you realize, you know, you've been living in this comfort zone for all your life.
What's been
But yeah, for sure.
I think as well, it's sometimes people can look badly on comfort zone and think like, oh, like, you know, you're not really getting on with anything, when sometimes like it should be a good thing. It's just knowing like where to come out of that in certain cases, which has kind of led me to like my next question, which would be, for people watching or for anyone else, what advice would you give others to help pursue their dream and come out of their comfort zone?
Oh, that's another great question. I think for me, I thought about that question as well, actually, today. And I think for me, it's not to delay, because if I realized that it would have taken me at least like 2 years to get to this stage where I'm now, I would have started, you know, because I thought 2 years, you're rich by then, by now I'm going to be buying yachts and being somewhere in Spain and renting a villa. Well, I'm in Greece now. Yeah, but obviously it kind of took me a really long time, and I had to save up. And you know, I guess it depends what business you you sort of start and what you get into. But to be honest, I think more and more I realize that it's time. You know, it takes you such a long time to build, you know, relationship with clients, to build your company, to build your confidence, whatever, you know, because as I say, you start with zero. You've got no
Yeah.
clue where to be. So thinking that in 6 months you're going to be a millionaire, and as much as there are lots of stories saying, oh, you know, I earned my first million in like 6 months, it's great, you know, because I didn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, so I think it's just not to delay, because it does take time, really. It does take time to get to your dream, whatever it
Yeah.
is, you know. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be my advice.
I love it. It's a good answer. It's just a tricky question as well. I think, like, unless you really think about it, you wouldn't really know completely. But yeah, no, time is, yeah, like you say, get started. Otherwise, you'll see 2 years or 3 years go past and think, yeah, I should have started that by now.
Yeah, and I know there's sort of a certain time where you feel like you're ready. And I
Mm,
sort of like 2 years ago, I felt, all right, that's it. Like, I can't bear with this anymore. I have to start. For some people, maybe they might be
yeah.
more patient, might start that later, maybe when they're 30 or 35 or 40, whatever, you know. Like, I
Yeah.
was 23, I think, when I started. So obviously for me, it was the right time. Davina, you can still hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I
Can
don't
you
know if
still
it's my
hear me?
signal, so I can still hear you. Yeah.
No, I thought it's mine, because sometimes the Wi-Fi is a bit weird around here. So just give me a sign that you can hear me, and we can
It's all right.
we can continue. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I think also similar question I have to you as well. Was taking up an interior design degree, was your action to come out of your comfort zone? Would you say?
I would say yes. I felt like back about a year ago or so, I was in a very kind of safe position. Things were going really, really well, but it was too safe. And again, like you, I had a couple of ideas. I just really wasn't sure where to go with it and how to start. So I remember talking to my boyfriend, going, "Well, do I try this? Do I see what it's like? And if it does go well, what's the next steps? Because I don't really know how that's going to, impact on my, I don't know, current job, for example, or what if it goes really badly and I'm crap at it? What happens
Mm,
then? Like, it can work from both sides. So I think absolutely, definitely. I'm so glad I've done it and tried it. Loved every minute of it so far. Um, but I think, like, you put all your energy into it as well. When you have all these ideas, it's just great to get stuck in. Will that be the same for
yeah.
you?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I mean, for me as well, as much as art is kind of something that I love doing and something that a lot of people can associate me with, you know, because I'm
Mm,
this kind of creative person, it was very much coming out of my comfort zone as well, because
mm,
I always have to do that. You cannot earn money in art. You cannot earn money in art. Don't even start. It's just going to lead you to, you know, nothing.
yeah.
So I have my ingrained, you know, views as well. As much as, you know, I love it and I really sort of wanted to be in the art world, but when I graduated and I started looking for jobs, I realized, you know, how sad my life will be if I'm earning, I don't know, 20 grand a year working,
Exactly.
you know. It's like, no, I don't want to do it. So I got into sort of sales and I started working in telemarketing. And
Hmm.
but the more I worked, the more I realized this is not what I want as well. So what do I want?
Yeah.
You know, what is, and every time, every day, you know, I try to prove myself that no, you're going to work out. You're going to get to the stage where you want to get to. You'll be fine. You just have to keep going.
Mm,
I think days go by and my confidence begins to raise, and actually I start thinking, actually it'll be fine, it'll be okay, I'll prove myself wrong, because I want to prove myself wrong first of all, you know. I'm doing it for myself, to prove
mm,
myself that I do it. You know, it's not just what people are saying, you know, you're not going to make it. It's art, you know, you're not going to have a nice life, you know, doing art is just constant kind of struggle and so on. And I think part of doing behind canvas as well is to prove that it's possible. You know, if you really
Yeah.
want something, it's possible. So yeah, we'll see. I'm battling through every day.
I think it's like
So,
where you're taking you oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
no, no, no. Carry on, carry on.
Oh, I was going to say it's a lot like you've got to come out of that kind of safe zone and take a risk. If you're never going to take a risk, you're never going to know, regardless of the outcome. So, like for example, you were saying you've tried it and your confidence is growing, and you're still learning. We're all still learning, the both of us. You never stop learning either, which is the fun of it, the fun part of the game. So yeah, I would completely agree on that.
Yes, absolutely. And I think as well is with interior design, so many people, you know, start interior design when they're sort of in their like mid 40s, you know, like as their second career, because
Mm.
probably ago or something they thought, well, you know, it's a creative industry, I'm probably not gonna make it, it's really hard, I might just go into corporate. And when they're, I don't know, 40, you know, when they have kids, they realize, you know, actually I want to do something that I love, you know.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing I think with interior design, like art, fashion, interior design is all kind of seen as these, you know, like, oh, creative industry professions, and only the minority get famous and only the minority get popular, or and you need aristocratic roots to be able to get somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it, I see a lot of, and I think that's also why I teach interiors, because you know I'm trying to show that no, you know, it's not, you know, you can make it. And I think that comes to my third question to you as well. You know, why did you choose interior design?
I kind of mentioned when I was on the society chat that Dill hosts every couple of weeks. I briefly
Amazing.
mentioned it. Sorry, I think my signal might be a bit bad. I don't know, but I'll carry on talking.
Oh yeah, I can
um,
see you.
okay. Yeah, I kind of briefly mentioned it where I was living in my mum's flat along with my sister, and we had kind of decided we wanted to make the place homely. And I was thinking before then there must have been a reason. Like you can't just, I mean, you can probably, but for me, I really sat and thought about this before this live, and kind of thought, well, why? So I think back in the past when my parents had got divorced, my home was never like a comforting place, and it
Mm.
always, there was no like nest to kind of hide, and you know that would be your personal space. So I think since then I've always been really aware of my surroundings
Mm.
and making sure that where you're living or staying is really comfortable. You feel at ease, you're relaxed. So ever since then I'd say I've, it sounds silly, but you kind of judge people's rooms and go, oh yeah, I
No,
could have done that, or that's a great idea.
yeah, it's true, absolutely, and I can relate to you because my parents are divorced as well, and I moved to my dad's place when I moved to the UK. That was like 10 years ago, 11 now, and oh, and his place wasn't, you know, so I had this kind, you know, I imagined that, you know, his house would be really comforting and I'll feel really at home, but I didn't, you know, I moved and I didn't like I'm at home, so I had to create, as you're saying, like a nest, you know. And I
Yeah.
think also as well, it's interiors, it's like kind of your dreams, right? You're sketching out spaces where you see yourself, where you would like to be. And it's the same for me. I'm sketching them because I'm dreaming about all these spaces, these images that I choose to draw from are my dreams. You know, this is the house that I'm kind of envisioning to live in.
Absolutely. And creating that mood that you want to be surrounded in, and like you say, sketching is such an easy way of visualizing it so quickly, and you've proved to everyone that you can do it without any experience, which is brilliant. And you can, yeah, you've got the chance to discover what you want to create really, as your surroundings. So I think it's a great a great sketching course or courses that you provide. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it my turn for a question? I can't think now which one we've got
Yeah,
onto.
go on.
Right. Oh, okay. We've kind of gone over this a little bit, but how did you know sketching was for you, and how did you know that was the right direction for you to go in?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. All of your questions are amazing. Uh, um, I think, how would I say it? Like sketching, as you said, like it's quick, and as much as you can spend hours on it, yes, you can create a very detailed drawing, but it's nowhere as sort of like high maintenance as it is to paint on canvas. Painting
Yeah.
on canvas is long, it's very kind of like you know, supposed to be like very meditative and relaxing, but I get stressed out when I'm painting on canvas. It's just I like it, but not something that I find a practical for myself, because I prefer to do quick
Yeah.
sketches, take all of these paintbrushes and wash them and have all these canvases taken out, an easel to put up, and then you need inspiration, you know, then you need to, oh, what am I going to draw, you know what I mean? It's kind of like much more high maintenance. And even though I'm a narcissist and a lot of people
Yeah.
think I have great patience, I don't have patience. So
Oh,
sketching is,
really?
yeah, I don't have patience. Like, I think, again, sketching is out of my comfort zone. Since we're talking about comfort zone, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm trying to get more patient when I'm sketching, you know?
Mm.
But there are many times where I feel like dropping the pencil and just saying, oh, I can't do it. This is doesn't look good. I'll just do it tomorrow, you know, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think it's testing my patience as well. And I think that's another reason why I picked this, yeah, why I picked sketching in general. So yeah, I think because it's quick, because it's practical for myself. I like paper, I like markers, you know, this is like my favorite mediums.
Mm.
um Markers are just like so portable, so easy to carry, you know, like less, no mess at all, you
Yeah,
know. And
that's true.
yeah, you can just have like a sketchbook and markers, and yes, you need probably a lot of colors, but you don't need like lots of colors. If you just, I don't know, going traveling, like just take a
Yeah.
few colors. No, you don't need a whole set, even though I've
Yeah.
got about of them, but never mind. I've got plenty. So, and I think initially started with sketching architecture because I love buildings as well. As much as I love interiors, I love buildings, and I love all
Mm.
sort of historical architecture. So I started sketching that first, using watercolors, and then I thought, no, no, I prefer markers, is more modern, and I wanted to offer to people something that is not so mainstream yet. Yes, markers are mainstream now, but I think when I was starting 2 years ago, they were like sort of just about hitting that kind of like popularity, you know, they were not as popular before. And I wanted to, you know, kind of introduce them into the art world, showing that, you know, you can use felt pens, you know, because I was in school as well, my art teacher used to tell me, oh my goodness, you can't use felt pens, this is not art, like you have to use watercolors or paints. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, because you can't mix felt pens, you just can't draw felt pens. And I'm like, I don't know, they're fine,
It
but
works.
markers are different. Yeah, they are felt pens, they are markers, they're different things. As much as they are from the same kind of family, if you
Yeah.
like, they are different mediums. Markers are more professional. They are, yeah, much more professional. So I think, yeah, so I think that's how I sort of got into it. Yeah.
I think it's interesting as well because, like, from my point of view, markers is such a basic thing. Like, you think, oh, it must be such an easy kind of technique to pick up, and it is. Like, once you get to grips of what you do, it's fine. But it's literally going back to school and learning how to sketch. And
Yeah.
like I say, it's not using watercolor. Like, I mean, I've tried that, and I did give it a go, to be fair, but it's really not for me. But I think it's different for everyone. But like you say, you're almost challenging yourself, stripping it right back to basics. So it's quite interesting to hear that for you.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And it's I get quite a lot of sort of messages saying, oh, like I didn't know art is so easy, or oh, when I was in school, my art teacher was horrible. And I get all these sort of like messages saying, how nice I am as an art teacher. And I'm thinking, goodness, what art teachers did you have? It's awful. For me, strange, because when I was in school, for me, the art teacher was the best teacher in the whole school. It was a teacher who allowed imagination, allowed anything. You could do anything in class, and for me, it was like always something to look forward to. So when I hear messages saying, oh, like I had this horrible art teacher, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that's really bad. This needs to be changed.
It's
Yeah.
almost like bringing it on, like you're like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to teach. Show you that it's a great way of just literally clean slate and ready to start being creative.
Yes, exactly. Yes, for sure.
Good one.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else now we've done here.
I've got a few more questions. Maybe I can go now.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to our comfort zone. Why do you think comfort zone is so precious, so important for so many people?
Good question. I think comfort zone is such a safe, I think I've said it already, like it's a real safe like nest for each person. It's the only time you're going to get personally or individually. And I think once you change that, you're almost like you say, you come out of your comfort zone. You don't really know what to expect. No one has the answer for you. It is really, honestly, quite scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I first tried on the diploma, I was really like, I know this is the right thing to do, but it was completely different. I knew it was like not playing the safe path and going, well, I'm going to just try this out, see what happens. And I think once you're out of that comfort zone, you're absolutely fine. You're probably taking more, and your mindset is then driven to trying more things. But it is quite difficult, I think, once you're in a comfort zone for so long, to realize maybe the balance in a way.
Yeah.
And almost like I don't know about yourself, but it kind of pushes you to reach your limits a bit better once you've come out of your comfort zone.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
I lost you.
I misheard a few words. if you can repeat.
Oh no. Oh, I can't remember now. I think just like once you come out of your comfort zone slightly, you're more kind of in a mindset to try new things a bit more often. It is literally just taking that first step.
Yes, and that's like been proven by my experience as well. Once you start coming out, you can't go back. It becomes very addictive because you feel that you're growing inside, and you don't want to stop that growth. On, and it's seriously like it's proven. It's a proven fact. If you do something that you're uncomfortable with, like for instance, like you said, like taking that insecure kind of route that might lead you to nowhere potentially. Once you get on it, you find your ways. You know where to go. You start coming. So I think a lot of people just sort of scared to make that initial step, or they think that even if they make this initial step, it will be hard all the way. But not. They are like, for instance, even for me, every day I question, am I really doing, this? Should I be doing this? Is it good? But every time I receive a message from you guys, saying that, I just tried this, I don't know, I sketched this, what do you think? And you probably don't realize, but it does make my heart melt. Like seriously, I sit there on a sofa and I think, oh my goodness, no, actually I am doing something useful. I will carry on. Yes. Seriously, because I think we as women, we're very emotional, and there's nothing bad about it, and as much as we try to say we're not emotional, we're very stable. Well, I disagree with that. I think we're very emotional. We have a lot of emotions that we don't want to express, you know, and I don't think we should suppress any emotions that we have. So, you know, being a woman and having a business, it's, you know, quite a tricky one, because every day you wake up and you think, oh, you know, am I doing this? Should I be doing this? You know, so it's like every day. It's like when I say to my husband, like, he doesn't have thoughts like this, you know, he starts, I don't know, a thing, and he will carry on. He's not going to wake up every day thinking, is this for me? You know, he will just carry on. And I'm like every day,
Yeah.
oh, no, is this for me? Should I be carrying on? You know, is this really what I need to be doing? And so but it's normal. You know, Monday is like this. Tuesday, I'm happy, I'm doing great. Wednesday, I'm saying, no, that's it. I'm just going to work for the rest of my life. I'm not going to have a business. Great day again, you know, I'm doing great. I've got new students joining. Friday, you know, every day is different. So I think have to realize is that yeah, once you're out of this comfort zone, you're out forever, and that's a good thing. Is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think as well as like looking forward and having goals for the future, to be also grateful of like the present, like you say, day to day, you kind of go, oh well, that worked well for me, I'll see how tomorrow goes, because tomorrow's a new day, rather than like, I mean, I'm guilty of it as well, and I'm sure you are, or completely like questioning whether that's the right decision, or someone else's perception of you, which we all do, I'm sure we do. But I think that's ultimately where this comfort zone probably starts. So then to just come out of it and think, right, well, what's today going to bring? What's tomorrow going to bring? Not thinking too far ahead, but still having goals in the background in a way.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I think also on that note, for instance, with me, you know, all these 2 years, I've been working, you know, as well as trying to build behind Canvas, still working. Yes, I'm not doing 5 days a week like I used to, but I had to dedicate a lot and a lot of time and emotions, you know, towards it to make it work, you know, and to keep improving. And I think it's something that we don't hear in all news, you know, when we're watching like a YouTube motivational video and there's a successful businesswoman or a businessman sitting in front of the interviewer and says, yeah, I earned my million, you know, in the first year. But no one's saying, you know what, actually I worked from Monday to Friday doing my full-time job, and then on Saturday, Sunday I did this, and this been like this 2 years. I think people just kind of, for some reason, I don't know why, because I love sharing my, you know, challenges and, you know, my sufferings, and I love getting it out there. Maybe, I don't know if people like hearing it. Please let me know if you don't like hearing it, because I will stop them. But I like sharing that, because this is what I would like to hear. Because all I hear is success stories. Success. I earned my first million in the first month. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I haven't. So what's wrong with me? You know, have I chosen the wrong path, or am I doing something wrong? And then I try to unfollow these people who are not motivating me. They actually make me feel, you know, smaller or insecure. And I think, yeah, I think sharing these kind of stories is very important. And that's so comes up to my last question to you as well. Why do you think that people choose, you know, comfort zone over actions?
I mean, I think the most obvious answer probably is it's safe, it's easy, it's anyone can pick that and not be able to take a risk. It's as simple as that. I suppose it's a choice whether you want to try different things or you're happy. I mean, some people might be happy just sticking to what they do and what they know, which is great, which is absolutely fine. I think there are certain people that aren't completely satisfied with that and want to try different things. For example, like yourself with sketching, and you've come up with BehindCanvas and you've created that over a couple of years and you're still learning.
Yeah.
But you've actually put ideas somewhere, rather than just, like you say, playing it safe, having a 9 to 5 job. And it's exciting at the same time. I mean, it's different for everyone, but I would say the real quick answer is people that maybe might not come out of their comfort zone is because it's quite a safe option. And I'd say I've done that plenty of times in the past, and only recently have tried different things. I think, you kind of think, oh, this is different and I like doing this. For example, with the design course or the design diploma course, I've absolutely loved it. I don't think I would have done it maybe a year or two ago, but then I think everything happens for a reason in a way.
Yeah,
the timing is always going to happen at the right time regardless. So I really do believe, yeah, that is why, and it's a choice regardless of what you prefer, really.
yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree with you here. And I think all of people have dreams, might be big, might be small, you know, like when I behind canvas, I wanted to have a good life. I wanted to travel. I wanted to, but I didn't have sort of this idea of becoming a millionaire. Of course, I would love to, but for me, money is not enough. Like I need some sort of purpose, you know, to do it, because I'm that person. I'm very deep, and I need to have this deep purpose, you know. So if it's just earning money, then I probably would pick a different field, right? Because it's not the field where you get money easily. It's something that you have to show to people. You have to. But I think what people like when it comes to sketching is that feeling of pride that you have produced something, you know, that you actually are capable of more. And it's all of these sketches that I posted in my online gallery as well, like zero prior drawing experience, you know, people with traumas from art teachers and stuff like that. People who think they can't hold a pencil. So I think what gets people sort of coming back, I think, is that feeling that, oh, you know, I can do it, you know, because we have so much like pressure around us, you know, like paying bills, oh, I don't know, growing up, responsibilities, blah blah blah, and all this, you know. So we always think, oh, it's better to get a safe job, it's better to do this rather than this. And but I think when you really like trying to, you know, do something that you love, even if you're not turning it into a business, but potentially, yeah, let's say, you do feel inner strength, you know, that you will be all right. Because if you depend so much on someone, be it your employer, I don't know, anyone, you know, you will never feel that kind of freedom inside. And it might not be freedom sort of outside, you know, you might not be, you know, loaded with cash and complete, no, but that kind of feeling that, you know, you're worth more, you know, you know, I think, yeah, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just going into very deep things now. Yeah, I think that's how I feel, because I've always been kind of very freedom orientated person. For me, it's been like ingrained since I was a child. And my parents were never role models, in a sense that my dad didn't have a business, my mom doesn't have a business. And, you know, it's not been like, I've not had this example of, you know, sort of freedom, you know. But yeah, so I sort of had to create it for myself in that sense.
I would agree, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you had any more.
It's hard to know as well, like where you start. Sorry, is this my signal?
Yeah, carry on.
This is not good, is it?
Yeah.
See if you can hear me.
Small delay. I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not sure if I've lost her or she's lost me.
No, I'm still here. I can hear you well, and I can actually still see you too.
Come on, Stephanie.
I'm here. I'm here.
Back. I can hear you.
You're back. Back.
Yeah, I think you're back. Yeah. Just about. I think
that's okay.
I didn't catch that. I might have to check. I might have to. I don't know. Can we pause this and come back quickly? I don't know. See if I can get a better Wi-Fi.
I think you can potentially. You can leave and come back. That's for sure. Yes. I think we're just going to wait for Davina to sort her signal out. It's a completely normal thing in today's world with the Instagram.
This is not okay. Right, bear me just a second. Let me see if I can sort this out.
That's okay. I think whilst you're reconnecting, maybe if anyone has any questions, we had Adina saying most of the art teachers are very bad critics and push you backwards. Your art teacher was great by giving you that courage of being yourself. And that's the most important thing to be an artist. I agree. And I think that's what I try to do as well through my courses, to show you that, yeah, you're capable of anything. And it doesn't just have to be sketching. It's actually everything in life. You just really have to believe in yourself. And we all have different backgrounds. We all have different, we were born in different countries and so on. So that's completely understandable that each of us has our own kind of comfort zones that we're trying to overcome. So, but I completely agree that I was lucky with my art teachers. And I'm very grateful that, yeah, I had them, because they have given me that confidence for sure. If there's any other questions, maybe. I'm just scrolling through now to see. Jasmine, make a plan and do it, fail, learn, and keep on going. Yes, exactly. Suzanne, start the diet tomorrow. I do relate. Yes, I think we all have this start tomorrow thing for sure. All right. I'm just going to join Davina back. Should be okay. Davina, you're back.
I'm back. I'm so sorry.
It's you.
Technology. Oh my god.
No, don't worry. That's completely fine. I'm actually surprised that my connection is better than yours, because usually I'm the one who's failing with
oh
my.
god.
But I was just covering a few comments we had here. I don't know if you want to scroll up. There was one from Medina. She was saying about art teachers, that I'm very lucky that I had a nice art teacher. So it's probably a very common thing having mean art teachers.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, if there's any questions perhaps from the viewers at all about anything, be it around comfort zone or not comfort zone, anything. As much comfort zone. But
it's a tricky topic, I think.
yeah, uncomfortable topic in some ways,
yeah.
for some people as well, because some people might not realize, you know, what they want in life, and for them it's kind of like a bit difficult. But I actually covered this in the last talk, when for instance, when you don't know what you want in life, that's actually because you're not trying. You know, like every idea that you had or have, you're not realizing it. And I think that kind of sort of suppresses your desires, if you like, and you don't have them anymore because you keep suppressing them. Why would you start? You know, if you're not like watering your plant, it's not going to grow, it's going to die, basically, right? Same as your dreams. As harsh as it sounds, it's true. You know, so, and it can be little things, but yeah, so I think we haven't encouraged our viewers today to start doing what they love, or continue doing what they love. Because if there's anyone who's struggling, for instance, like me, every day thinking, you know, if this is the right journey, just message me. I'll be happy to hear that I'm not the only one thinking like this. So yeah, I think there is no questions so far. So we can carry on, or we can finish off here. I don't know, Davin, if you have any other questions, maybe, or any thoughts you want to share, perhaps.
I have got maybe just one question. I'm not sure I've asked it to you, but I'm just aware my signal is great. So I'll see how we go, and if not, maybe leave it there.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was one question, just from just what's one thing that you've learned since creating BehindCanvas that you could maybe share with the viewers and myself, really, of what you've learned, and if you had known that when you had first started, what would it be?
One thing, goodness, there has been so many things that I have learned. that I can't even pick one, to be honest. I think I'm not going to pick one, actually. I'm going to pick a lot. I'm just going to go into them now. I think number one is, as I mentioned, is when you sort of start and you make a decision to start and you get out of this kind of like familiar sort of comfort zone, you can't go back. Yeah. And that's actually like true. You just don't feel like you can become that same person again. And I think, you know, a lot of like business people, they have all these business ideas and they start and the business idea might fail, then start with the second one and the third one and the fourth one until it's successful. I think sometimes I think, oh my goodness, how can you start so many business ideas and you still be so motivated to keep going, you know? Because I think for me, everything, oh, is BehindCanvas a fail, or is it actually good? Is it a fail? Or and I don't understand what are the signs that tell you that it's a successful business. But as I said, for me, the sign is when I get messages saying, I've just done your course, it was amazing, I've created the sketch. For me, that's a sign that I'm still ticking the box of successful business. I can carry on. Because I think we're all talking about, creating value for people, right? And I think people buy value, they want to buy value. They don't want to buy some crappy product or crappy whatever it is, People always see value. And I think people are no longer buying impulsively, when buying and not thinking. I think all of us are now thinking what we're buying. We're really like sort of into that now. And I think coming back to your question as well, thing that I've learned is definitely start early. If I knew that, I would have started earlier, really. But I guess, yeah, as I said, they had to be a certain time. And also, I think as well, we shouldn't be so like affected and kind of, I don't know, how should I put this? Like I was saying about growing up in specific countries, in specific backgrounds, with specific parents, when we have certain views ingrained into us. It's a very dangerous kind of thing that can sort of like ruin your life in a way, because you're kind of born, in specific kind of atmosphere where, let's say, parents are lawyers and they're telling you, you know what, I don't know, Stacy, you're not going to do art because you're not going to earn money doing art. So Stacy, you're going to become a lawyer. And then Stacy a lawyer, and Stacy at 35 realizes, shit, I'm sorry for my language, but this is this is, I don't want to be a lawyer, this is not, and this is awful at that age, or 45, whatever age, it's it's because we think, we're going to take this, comfortable route for us because this is what our parents told us or whatever. I mean, I was quite lucky. My parents never told me anything. So I kind of like try to figure it out myself in a way. Yeah. But I always, as I said, I always wanted to have that sort of freedom, and as much as having a business is not really freedom because you work a lot, but at the same time you're promoting your own idea. So I think as well is not being so affected by what people are telling you. If you have this feeling inside that I want to do it, I want to start, I want to see how it goes, do start, because you might end up at this sort of having this life that you didn't want. This is not what you wanted to create for yourself. And life is short. There's all these quotes saying life is short, and I think you really need to do something that you love, even if it will take you 3, 4, 5 years. I still have to work, as I say, I still have to do my job to pay my bills, but I'm doing BehindCanvas, and that keeps me going, and wanting more. That keeps me thinking, my life will be great. It is great, it's good. So I think you need that feeling that will keep you going, because if all you have is a job that you hate, I mean, that's awful. I mean, seriously, people, if you hate your jobs, you need to sort it out now. Yeah. So,
I think it's like trusting your instinct as well. Like you say, it's so easy to get into such a normal like 9 to 5 routine, And I know I'm at the minute in an office job, which is great, but then you also think like, oh, like, do I want a bit more? Like, this is, it gets a bit, I think there is some truth in saying that your like career is something you love, because you get so excited about it, you don't know where the time goes. And I think way before, I don't know whether it was different or the same with you before Behind Canvas, but where you, in your mind, I know I've had it where I'm umming and ahhing about, is this the right decision? But you just have to trust your instinct. I think that's purely the right decision, and taking that gut instinct.
Yes, absolutely. And also this feeling that, oh, how do I know that it's for me? You know, if it's something that I want to do, you don't know. You know, you
Yeah.
don't know. You just have to, if you just have to start, see how it goes. If you want to stick with it, that means it's yours. And you know, most of the times it's actually much deeper than we think.
Mm,
Same with me, like with sketching, I think it's much deeper than sketching. It's something
mm,
deeper than that. It's having some sort of a purpose of showing to the world that, you know, art industry exists. It's here. You can be A, practical, B, you can earn money, C, you can be creative and you can do what you love. Because a lot of people think art equals not practical. You know, this is not a practical career. This is not something that you do. This is not something that parents want their children to go into, you know. Art.
well, because you have
Yeah.
a conception of the art industry, for example, where they kind of, you, I don't know, you get taught into, or born into, like, that is a really tough industry to get into, and you might not be good enough. But like you say, you've got to try. You'll never know unless you don't. And even so, as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying it, who's going to stop you from doing that?
Yeah, exactly, and no one. And I mean, of course, we all choose our own paths, especially with art and fashion, for instance. Like maybe with interior design, I think as well. You know, where you graduate, you start getting these internships, and you're not paid anything, and you're working for nothing, and no one's appreciating you, and you have to grow this career ladder. This is something that I hate as well, like growing this career ladder. Like for me, it just makes me like sick. I think, you know, I want to be there at the top straight away. You know, I don't want to have these
Yeah.
10 years of climbing towards my goal, because, you know, 10 years, what am I going to do in 10 years? You know, like it's just like, and I think, yeah, that comes back to patience. I'm just not patient enough to wait for 10 to get there. And I think, yeah, I'm kind of like making fun of it. And I know I shouldn't be, really, because most people, that's, you know, how they have their careers. They start from zero and they grow in a specific company. For me, it just
Yeah.
wasn't. I just didn't have that company that I want to be growing in. You know, I want to our own company for myself. And you know, also, as much as I'm doing what I love, I have to do a lot of things that I dislike. For instance, I have to sell, and I don't like selling, but I have to
Yeah.
sell courses, because courses, I can't, you know, I don't have food on the table, if that makes sense. So I have to, like, I hired a marketing specialist and I have to listen to her. And I hate listening to people, but I have to listen to her. So for me, every day, she's telling me what to do. And I'm like, oh, you know, I have to do this.
You're like, oh yeah, that does make sense.
I'm paying her, but I have to listen to what she says, because if I want to grow in a successful business, because a lot of people think, oh, you know, you're doing what you love, it's amazing, it's 100% what you love. It's not 100% what you love. It's actually not at all. It's half of it. The other half is something that you hate. You might be selling, you might be speaking to people. I mean, I love speaking to people. That's not an issue. But for some people, maybe they're introverts. Maybe they like to create a software or something, but they hate getting it out there, speaking with people, dealing with customers and stuff like that, you know? So we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses. I mean, that's why my husband joined BehindCanvas as well. So a few, like 3-4 months ago, because before it was just me, and he's helping me with technology to film courses, to get quality to the standard where I see it. Because without him, I'm sorry, you would still be using crappy Zoom videos. So, you know,
I think there's truth in it though, where like you're employing people that are better at you than you, because
yeah,
ultimately you want the best.
exactly.
And then I think as well, where you mentioned about like sales really isn't for you. And I really relate to that. I left school, I went straight into Gatwick Airport and did car rental there. And they kind of taught me the 3 R's. Now I can only remember two, but the first one, I think it was, oh, I can't even remember the second one now. All I remember is that one of them was recognition, and that's the only way that I am motivated, or knowing that you're doing well. There was another one. It was, I can't remember. It was beginning with an R, but it was for sales basically. Like you're driven by income. So there's different ways of, I think, just different personalities really of what you are expecting. But yeah, no, totally agree on everything you've just said there.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, because again, I don't want to create any illusions, you know, like it's a hard path. It's not easy. And as I said, it's not 100% what you love you have to do, you know, because building a business, so many mechanisms behind that. And that's fine. I had the same thing last time. Relying on social media, you know, relying on followers, relying on customers all the time. And when you have a business, you don't know if the money will come tomorrow. You just don't know. You might have a great day today, you know, for instance, like last week was amazing week. Like, thank you so much, all my dear customers. Like, you have made me happy. last week I had sales, actually, well, today as well, every single day. This has never happened before. Like every single day I was selling courses, and this is just amazing, you know. But every time you think, oh yeah, great, you know, you're celebrating this victory for 1 second, and the next second, what do I have to do so that I have the same result tomorrow or better? So it's not stop. You're like a squirrel running around. So you really have to deeper purpose for doing what you're doing. Yeah. So I think that's my philosophy. Yeah.
No, I completely agree on that. Do you think there's a reason why people don't do something they love straight away?
Yes, and that's because it's ingrained views, ingrained opinions. Society is kind of, especially I think for women as well, you know, as much as we talk about feminism, we have our own sort of ingrained kind of perspectives on life that people think of us, and so on. And I think the reason for people not striving for their dreams is because it's much easier to follow a route that has been already like a trodden pathway, you know. It's much easier than create something new. If you're creating something new, you don't know if you will succeed, you don't know how people will receive it. And yeah, I think it's just a very kind of scary and uncomfortable way to take. I think that's the reason. For instance, let's say if I had to create something today, like I'm not innovating anything. Well, I am innovating, but I'm not creating something new from zero. You know, sketching is a well-known kind of field. You know, sketching interior might not be as popular perhaps maybe in the UK, but it is popular in other countries. You know, for instance, in Russia, like interior sketching is very popular sort of career, if you like, career or activity to do. But it depends how you monetize it, because a lot of people might sketch really, they are amazing artists, but they have no clue how to create profitable business out of it. And this is something that I have to learn every day. This is why I hired a marketing specialist, because I want it to be profitable. I love sketching, but I don't want to be, you know, just sketching and I'm not earning anything. I want to be able to do something that I love and earn money and deliver value. So I think, this is something that I had to realize as well, because I look at other people's works and I think, oh my goodness, they're amazing. But then I think, well, maybe my sketch is not as great as theirs, but at least I'm monetizing it and I'm trying to create something out of it. So I think, people just don't follow their dreams straight away because it's just too difficult, it's too hard. And I think for some people who are watching us today, maybe they think, oh, actually, they're talking sense. You know, I need to start following my dream as well. So it's, you know, I think we're motivating certain people who might have these ingrained views that, I don't know, art is not a great industry to be. or something like that, and they think, they look at me maybe, or they look at you and think, oh, actually it's possible, actually I can do it. So you know what I mean, it's the same for them. Like we're not opening something new, but we are kind of like giving people so like this motivation to realize actually it's not black and white, and it's not black and white. And
No.
I'm in that person who's been black and white. I'm either happy or I'm sad. It's either
Yeah.
art, either I'm rich or I'm poor. There's nothing in the middle, you know, there's just
Yeah.
no golden middle. Stephanie does not have this golden middle. She's got no clue, you know. So when I always think about the bad things that will happen, I never think about positive things, you know. I might get, I don't know, 20 sales a day, and I think, okay, it's 20 sales, but tomorrow I'll have zero. You know, I keep thinking about bad things that will happen. So it's just
Which I
me as
think is really, it's really natural as well to do that though. I think everyone thinks that way. And like you say, gradually you'll just build yourself up, and it's almost like giving yourself a challenge and thinking, can I do this? And do I enjoy it? And if so, carry on. Like it's, yeah, it's different. I think it, being in a comfort zone is very natural to everyone, and not having to change it. Which is, I don't know if you feel the same about that, but I would definitely agree that maybe a year ago I was in that same position where I was like, no, this is fine, this will do. But I think as you grow older, you kind of make a bit more sense as to what you want, and how you can maybe put what you have and your skills and your passion for something towards a goal in a way.
Yes, exactly. And I think we all think about like Elon Musk, you know, he's creating these industry and he's so amazing and he's so innovative. I was comparing myself to Elon Musk, thinking, why should I start so good? I'm not gonna get to that stage, so why should I even start? You know, so you keep thinking, I'm not going to discover anything new, so why should I even bother? Well, if you don't bother, then we'll never have Elon Musk existing. We'll never have any other people existing. And who knows, you might be changing a life of a person here and now. You know, we might be changing someone's life. We've got 4 people watching. Who knows?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, maybe one of them is watching us now and thinking, you know what, I don't know, I'm gonna start something that I love tomorrow. And I think this, actually, coming back to your question, this is something that stops people. They think I'm not genius enough to do it. You know, I'm not genius. I'm just someone else. You know, why not?
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from. And we are all in the system. You know, get a degree, get a job, get a secure job. You know, get married, have
Yeah.
2 kids, 1 kid, or two better, 3, I don't know, whatever. Uh, then you know, send your kids to school, I don't know, buy a house, grow a tree. We all have this ingrained system in us that we have to do these things, and we have to do it, you know, step by step, you know. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and I think the system really is creating a very kind of monotonous life for us, if that makes sense, you know,
I
because
think it makes it almost harder to come off of that like
exactly,
expected track, which
exactly.
then I think people kind of look down and go, well, hang on a second, that's not the way you should be doing it. But who says you can't do that? Like, and that's where I think it becomes a bit strange in a way sometimes, because people are put off guard by, well, why are you doing that? That's not the normal way of doing it. But what's the normal? Like, you create your own normal.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's it's just like, to be honest, the more I think about it, the more sad I get, because going through selection processes, you know, getting a degree, like I didn't get into school I wanted. I didn't have anything that I wanted actually. Whatever I wanted, I dream job, no, forget it, Stephanie, you're not gonna get a dream job. You can go and do it yourself. Education, you want to get into this university, you're not getting there, no, you're not good enough, you have to go to this one instead. You want to, I don't know, go to, I don't know, like an amazing private school, no, forget that, you're just going to go to a normal school in your area, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
definitely.
this selection process just drives you mad. You're constantly thinking exams, exams, exams. Am I good enough? And am I going to pass this? Am I going to get this job? Am I passing this interview? Am I, oh my goodness, I'm so scared to lose this job. It's just so bad, really. Like, I don't understand why this system is so, you know, like,
It's
yeah,
constant.
yeah, it's just continuous, the same thing for all the time. And I mean, if we compare, I think how many percent of like entrepreneurs we have, like, I don't know, it's not a lot. It's actually very amount of people that actually get out of the system. And yeah, no one said it's easy. It's hard, but just, I think it's how you feel inside, to be honest. I think we all have our own thoughts about these things. I mean, some people are very academic and they like to be this way, you know, and it just never was a thing. I hate exams. I hate selection process. I hate being judged for how well I do this, this, and this, you know, and as much as I'm a perfectionist, you know, I don't like these things. So I think it's,
I think it's
yeah,
what you make of it as well. At the end of the day, yeah, like it's exactly what you make of it and how you're enjoying it. And if you're happy, then go for it. Basically, put yourself first and think, what do you want?
yeah. The worst that can happen is, okay, you're gonna fail. Okay, you're gonna get a no. So what? I mean, it's only what a small amount of your life that you didn't waste. You know, you would I would never say that a failure is a wasteful time. It's not. Because you realize, oh, okay, this didn't work out. I need to do something else then. You know?
Change, or yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Failure is probably the most key thing that could happen, because you try and try and try again. That's what makes who you are, really.
Yes, exactly. No, exactly. And I think it's personal growth, first of all. It's not about financial growth. It's not about, as much as I'm talking about business all the time, it's about personal growth. It's about feeling inside that, you know, you're a strong person, you can do it. Because there's so many stories out there where people, I don't know, lose their houses or get divorced, and that's it. Life is over for them. But if you things that are outside of your comfort zone, your life will never be over. You know, at these kind of, when you face these kind of critical situations, they will not be over. You lost a job, your life is not over. You can get another job because you know you're good enough to get this job, or you're good enough to start this, or whatever, you know. So I think it really is about personal growth than anything else, really.
Yeah,
So
that's a good one. Yeah, and I think to anyone that maybe hasn't tried something new, try it, see what happens. If it doesn't work for you, that's great. But it's like you say, it's the feeling inside, and that's what matters.
it's the feeling, and that
Yeah.
accumulates and throughout your life. And you know, I never want to be this woman when I'm, I don't know, 70, and saying to my grandchildren, oh, you know, don't go into art, you're just, you know, you're not going to make it, you know, you go and be a lawyer. Because a lot of our, you know, I don't know, grandmas, granddads are like this. Maybe not our parents, but for instance our, you know, grandparents, you know, they have ingrained views about, I don't know, relationships, career perspectives, life. You know, it's like same with our move. For instance, like we left London, right, two months ago, a bit less than 2 months ago. And for instance, my husband's, you know, they're quite conservative, and for them that was a shock. They're like, what the hell, like, you just built your life in London and you're just leaving, you know, how can you do it? Whereas my parents, yay, hooray, it's such a good, you know. So it's different perspectives on life. I mean, my
Yeah.
parents freedom, like, you know, for instance, my husband's parents are more conservative. And again, that's because they were brought up in a former Soviet Union country, you know. So it's where we're born, it's our surroundings and everything. So I think yeah, that's quite important to realize that you're not them, and whatever they are saying to you is actually their own fears. Nothing to do with you, nothing with your capabilities. They fear, you know, of these things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, when you're worried about something and you're trying to say it to the other person just to put this worry on the other person, when it's
It's
actually
like,
your own worry.
yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's almost like when you're born into something, or it's not like when your parents kind of teach you like morals. It reflects on you, and I think as you get older, yeah, you've still got that, but you kind of learn a bit more about yourself and what works and what doesn't, and ultimately that is key.
Yes, exactly. No, for sure. I think it was a super interesting conversation, really, we had today.
Definitely.
And I'm talking about,
Probably rambled on.
yeah, I think we can go on about for hours. No, seriously. I think when we get to the stage where we can arrange, when we have all these concert halls, you know, like A2 coming just to listen to us talk. Yeah, nothing is impossible, you know, nothing is impossible. So you just never know. And yeah, I think these subjects are very important to cover 100%. So I'm really happy that we've done it today on International Women's Day to get all of these
Hi.
lovely women motivated. And I know most of kids are back at school now, so hopefully some women had some time to, you know, revitalize themselves. Sit there on a
Yeah, that was a glass of wine.
yeah. So I think yeah, there's just never. I think never stop. It's
Yeah.
something that I think every day. You know, I can
Yeah.
stop.
I don't stop.
Can't anymore.
Mm.
It's just not happening. I think I'm on this route now, and that's it. That's
There's
it.
no going back now.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's it, Stephanie. You're stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck now. I mean, I'm happy as much as I work a lot, but I'm happy. This is where I see my energy going into. I prefer it to go into this than think about things, you know, as I said, like being anxious and stuff, like, because I'm quite anxious person, so I get anxious very easily. And I think this kind of helps me to prevent sort of this anxiety, you know, coming back
You
and
almost
stuff.
forget about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on anyway. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, no, I'm so happy we've done it. We're doing one with Georgie next week, so we need to arrange the questions. So I think we're going to talk about passion next week. So following
Nice.
passion. Yeah, so another interesting subject. So I've got lots of IG talks lined up. One with Tameha as well the week after, with Amy in April. So hopefully these can
Oh,
carry on. Yes.
it's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I will save this stream obviously for those who have not been able to watch it in my feed, and again I'll send you a link as well so you can download that if you want to post it on your feed. So it's been
Yeah.
a pleasure. I wish you a lovely evening. You're doing great as well by taking up, you know, an interior design degree whilst you're working. I think that's what we all should be doing. We always should have this plan B or plan C, whatever, you know, doing as many things
Yeah.
as we can to yeah, to develop ourselves. So I'm sure you will be a successful interior designer in the future. I can envision that.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, but it's going good so far anyway. Especially the sketching course. I really need to sit down and do that. I've purchased your recent one, but yeah, you know what
Yes.
time's like. You just have to find a bit of time at the weekend and get on with it.
No, absolutely. I'm the same. When I do courses, I'm the same. I have to,
Mm.
you know, find the time, and I completely understand you. So that's fine. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. So
It's
yeah,
all
I
right
will
then.
very soon anyway, because we're keeping in touch. And yeah, wishing everyone a lovely evening, and speak soon.
Speak soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye bye.